Okay, in the last tutorial we covered edge cut, mirror, bridge, selecting things, and then we built a chair. In this tutorial we're going to take this a little bit further. I'm going to show you how you can take an object apart and put it back together again if you didn't like certain aspects of it. Or let's say, for example, something gets accidentally deleted, what you do. I'm going to deal with weld. I'm going to delete some things and do fill the polygon hole, and bridge. And then I'm also going to teach you a short little thing about rendering. Okay, so, and the first thing I'm going to do, though, is actually I want to make this chair a little more comfortable looking. This top piece is pretty flat and pretty uncomfortable, right? And it turns out that I can make, like many chairs have, I can make a little bit of an impression to fit somebody's butt. So I might as well do this, and I could do this so many different ways. But it just comes down to choosing how I want to do it, what I want to do. In this case, I'm going to select these points. Notice I'm just clicking, I'm holding, and I'm dragging as I select these points. Maybe that one there too, maybe these. And I missed one right over here. I'm going to grab it. And for that matter, I seem to have missed these ones in front. So I'm going to also shift select to add these to the selection. Now you're going to see that very quickly, just by choosing those properly and moving down, I've made a depression, right? And actually it looks to me like it's pretty short. So I want to undo that. I'm going to zoom in a little bit further, and I'm going to add some things to the selection, like that point there, and maybe this point here. That might be too much, but no, that's about right. I kind of like the way that looks. That's kind of doing it for me, right? Now I could go even a little bit further. There we go. That's even better. Now the beauty of this is, of course, that everything we've done here, we could take it apart, we could carve this on the mill, particularly that seat. We could take it to the CNC mill and we could carve it. All right, now, let's just say, for example, one of the people, let's just say I don't like the way this back wall worked, and everything's all wrong about it, and it's too complicated, and I want to delete it. The truth of the matter is that any time you can delete any part of an object. There's nothing that will not allow you to, like, say, choose a face and then delete it. The problem with doing that a little bit, that's interesting. Did I choose a face? What did I do? Yeah, choose faces and whatnot and delete it. The problem with doing this, of course, is that you make the object so that it couldn't be built with rapid prototyping or CNC milling. You create problems for yourself. So you want to be very careful whenever you delete something from your object. It's also true that occasionally you think you've picked something that you're going to delete and you accidentally delete the whole object. I can't really repeat that here, but it does happen. Keep in mind, don't panic. Your undo button is your best friend. Undo is Apple Z on the Macintosh, Apple Z. Okay? So what I guess I've decided that I really don't like this back at all, and I want to rebuild it. So I'm selecting these points. I turned off, I did this a long time ago, only select visible elements. I'm going to delete them, and I want you to notice that I've deleted the whole thing that represents the back. Now, what's beautiful about this is Cinema has a group of tools available to you, particularly Fill Polygon Hole. This only came to Cinema like in release 9 or release 10, and it's just an invaluable tool. I use it all the time personally. And what this does is exactly what it says. You have to be in points, lines, or faces to do it. I'm going to zoom in on this area right here. But basically, all you have to do is choose it, close Polygon Hole from the menu, and mouse over the button, and whatever turns white is a face that's going to close. So there you go. Boom. I got my face back. And now I can reconstruct. But before I do that, I want to show you something else. It's also true that, let's say, for example, I select these. All right? And I've deleted these. Oh, there's a case where I deleted my whole object. Oops, don't want that to happen. Let's just undo and get it back. I did it. All right, I'm going to delete it again. Now, notice that this is a section that is very different. That's not really a hole. It's now dimensional. The interesting thing about Cinema is it will still go ahead and fill it, but not very well. you see how there's that divot there? That's not what I want. And I can't really work with other things with that divot there, right? So now, one way is if I have a hole or something's been deleted by accident and I didn't notice it, I can go back and just fill a hole. That works great with polygons or small areas that are fairly flat. If indeed I need to reconstruct the area a little bit completely, I can use an element called bridge. Bridge is fantastic. Bridge can be used, we've already shown you how bridge works between polygons and similar objects. We've shown you how it can drill holes. Now what we're going to do is we're going to reconstruct a surface using bridge. Sorry, I zoomed way too far on that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw lines. You see, what happens is it's connected to that first point, and then a line shows up. I don't know why. Come on, give me some. Come on. Oops. Somehow we're not working here. It's not giving me the best of it. All right, so let's start in a different place. If it's not doing what I expect it to do, let's start all over again. All right, I'm going to choose bridge. And I'm going from this point, I guess, oh, I know why. It was because it was looking for a facet. I had facets chosen, not points. When I'm reconstructing in this mode, I want points. You'll see. So the points show up, and I click on the first one, and then the second, and then the second one, and then the third. Oh, I'm sorry, I goofed up again. Let me just do it. What you have to do is you have to click and drag. That's what I didn't do. So you click on the first point, and you drag to the second point. You click on the second point, I'm sorry, the third point, and you drag to the fourth point. You click on the fifth point, and you drag to the sixth point. And you see, as it goes, it's reconstructing each one of those faces between the points. Now, this is something that you have to watch really closely because you can get your points messed up. Like I could click on this. These points were super close together, if you remember. Look at them. Let's zoom in a little bit on them. They're super close together. And if I goof up and hit the front point instead of the back point, and I connect to the back point down below, then it's going to cause me a problem in my mesh. They're not going to be quad or four-sided polygons, right? So that's kind of a nice detail. Sorry about that. That's kind of a nice detail, all right? Now, in this case, we're going to continue to do this fill polygon hole. There's no need to do any more bridging, so we're going to close this polygon hole. It turns white as I mouse over it. I'm going to zoom around over to this side. It's always helpful to have something selected to zoom around with. Sorry, I was moving, not zooming. All right, I'm going to do this and this. To get those, S key. I'm going to hit close polygon hole again. All right, I'm zooming out, zooming in again. There we go. Now we can do a thing called, now it's very easy. We've already done it a couple of times. We can bridge these, right? And that will help reconstruct what we've made. So I'm choosing that one, and then I'm going to say bridge. There's another technique or another thing that we have here. It's called weld. And weld is similar to bridge, except what it does is it will weld 2 points together. Sometimes you have too many points in an object, or even for that matter, I can use weld in this case. Now look, something weird is happening. It's flipping. There's no way to change this, unfortunately. There's just no way to change this. If it's flipped and it's not working properly, it won't work properly for you. So that would be a negative way to use bridge. That would be a negative way to use bridge. But let's just say, for example, I'll give you a positive way to use bridge. Let's say I'm sorry, weld, you're right. Sorry. Let me show you a positive way to use weld. Let's say, for example, again, it's a little bit of a, all right. Let's say, for example, I want to bridge these two together. I'm saying bridge on purpose this time. Oops, I did it again. All right, I bridged these two together. Now you remember that I made a little extrusion